Etoro is my favorite investing platform for beginners, and you probably know it if you've been following me for some time. You know that I have a whole playlist where I talk about my investments on Etoro, and I always praise it. But just like any platform, it has its advantages and disadvantages, so this video will be devoted to its disadvantages. Please don't take it too serious. They are not the very critical things, so don't get put away completely by your registration on Etoro or your wish to start investing through Etoro, but just keep it in mind because this is something that may be useful for you in case you decide to register there and start using it as a regular user. I will tell you about 10 main things, main points that I don't like about Etoro, and if you can think of any more, then please leave your thoughts in the comment section below this video and I'll be very happy to read them. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing, and especially investing for beginners. And when we talk about investing for beginners, Etoro is one of the main platforms. I think it's the most popular, the most famous one on the market, at least in the UK, although Etoro offers its services not only in UK but also in many other countries of the world. The services that Etoro provides depends from country to country, so if you are not from the UK, then some of the things that I'm going to mention might be not so relevant to you. For example, if you're in the US, at the moment Etoro only offers you cryptocurrency trading, so you cannot invest into stocks and shares, and the majority of things that I'm going to mention are about stocks and shares. Although I think Etoro has a plan to expand its services, and it is going to, at least this is what they're saying, in a year or so they are going to start offering its US customers stocks and shares trading as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so the thing number one that Etoro can improve is customer service. I think that I am more positive about its customer service than the majority of other people, because when I read the comments on the internet, on websites like Trustpilot, etc., they are horrible. People don't get response from them whatsoever at all. And I can understand when the issue is quite important or when big money is involved, you want to hear back from them as soon as possible. But in my experience, most of the time I actually did get a response from them, and it happened quite quickly. Then since the pandemic started, somewhere in the middle of the lockdown, whenever I had a question, whenever I wrote to them, I wouldn't receive any answer, and then several weeks later I would get an automated email saying that sorry, due to high demand, blah blah blah. You know, we've heard it too many times in the last year in all services, I'm sure. So they would say that your ticket is closed due to the inactivity, and if your issue wasn't solved, please write us back. So what I usually did, I would usually just close my eyes at it and didn't ask these questions again, because they were just more information that I needed. It wasn't the actual problem that I needed to get solved. But recently, most recently, I wrote an email to them with an actual issue, and I received this email saying that your issue was automatically marked as solved because it's been too long and we haven't heard back from you. But the truth is, I haven't heard back from them. So I called and I spoke on the phone to the person. It was a real person, which was really nice, and my call was answered also very quickly, so there was no issues with that, and my issue was solved completely. So it does definitely work, but it's not necessarily straightforward, and it is not the quickest reaction, let's say. It's not the quickest process, and it's not the quickest reaction. So this is something, the customer service is definitely something that Etoro should work on, and I agree that there is a huge scope for improvement. Okay, number two thing that they may consider improving is adding more penny stocks onto their platform. All the main stocks and all the main companies are already listed there, and whenever a new company gets to the market, if it's a big IPO, right, like with Coinbase, with Robinhood, with Airbnb, etc., they are trying to list it on their platform as quick as possible, but the majority of penny stocks is not available there. So what I used to do if I wanted to invest into penny stocks, I used to go onto my Trading212 account and find those companies there. If Trading212 can list them, then why Etoro can't? Again, I am not a big fan of penny stocks, and maybe this is not the audience that Etoro is targeting, but just a way of improvement and just my recommendation, let's say. I think It would be good if Etoro could list more companies on its platform, although of course I understand it is impossible to list absolutely every single company. The thing number 3 that I don't necessarily like about Etoro is relatively high minimum trades on commodities, indexes and on currencies, so Forex. I've made a video about it, you can watch it here, where I talk about all the minimum trades and in general minimum fees that Etoro implements, but at the moment, and it may change in the future, but right now the minimum trades for commodities, Forex and indexes is $1,000, and not everybody has $1,000 to invest. Of course, you can get into this market through copy trading and then you have to invest only $200, but that's my point. If you can do this, if you can have these trades made for you through copy trading, then why cannot you do it yourself having only $200 in your account? Why does it have to be $1,000? Okay, next problem. Etoro at the moment allows us to open an account only in US dollars. And honestly, even if there was a choice, I would still prefer to have my account in dollars because US dollar is a reserved currency. If you don't know what it is, it basically means that this is the main currency of the world. And if dollar falls, then the rest of the currencies will most probably fall as well. And for me, it is a good way to diversify my portfolio. And of course, I have some savings and I have some accounts in British pounds, which is where I live, which is my main currency. So for that purpose, I prefer to keep some money and some of my investments in the US dollars. But still, I think it is good to have a choice, and some other platforms, they allow us to open accounts in different currencies. So even though it is not a big deal for me, I understand that a lot of people, many people would prefer to invest their money in their native currency. So therefore, I think it is a disadvantage. The next thing that again is not a big deal, but definitely something that would improve customer experience on Etoro, would be the segregation of the popular investors by stars. It is important for me. I don't know if there are many people like me, but I'm sure there are some. So you know, when you want to choose popular investors, you can choose them by the best gains, by the most copied, by other things, but you cannot choose the group of investors who, for example, have only black stars. Just out of the curiosity, I think it would be interesting to see who gained those black stars, which popular investors managed to meet the criteria and get this black star. Nowadays, what I'm doing, if I want to just to make a research or, for example, make a video about popular investors who got the black star, I have to go outside of Etoro platform and search for information about it on YouTube or on Reddit or on other websites online, but not on Etoro itself. The sixth thing is, I think, actually quite important. As far as I know, Etoro doesn't check any information that the investors provide in their bios. So each one of us could write whatever they want in the bio, and other people, if they decide to copy us, for example, they would have to believe, they would have to trust our words. Etoro definitely should do some checkups on the things and on the facts, at least the main information that popular investors give in their bios. Because this would mean that it is not possible for popular investors to lie, and it also would mean that the people who want to copy these popular investors would be able to trust every single piece of information that is given on their website. Right now, when I read the bios, I can sometimes see that a person has been trading, or at least he's claiming to have been trading for the past 20 years, but the person has just registered on Etoro last month, so obviously there is no history that I can see and that I can rely on, because just the words in the bio for me personally is not enough. I think it is a genius idea. Let me know in the comments if you think the same. This would give me so much more trust and confidence in the popular investors who I copy. Right now I'm so scared to fall for a scammer that I end up copying only those people who have been registered on Etoro for a long time and can show some history of their results on the actual platform. And I think that I might be missing out on a a lot of popular investors, a lot of traders. You see, because I think Etoro is more popular among a younger generation, like my generation, just because it's a new platform, and of course those people who have been doing it for 20-30 years, who are real experts, they are maybe not so interested in platforms like Etoro, you know, because they've been trading somewhere else, and so of course they will not be able to show their results on Etoro for the previous years. But it doesn't make them worse professionals and worse traders than those who have registered on Etoro from the very beginning. And as I said, I feel like I'm missing out on some opportunities, but at the same time I am not prepared just to trust the things that these popular investors are telling us in their bios. Okay, the seventh thing that I would improve is something that I've discussed recently in the Copy Trading Club podcast. It was about the welcoming part of the registration process. So the issue that we've discussed there was that once you register on Etoro, there's no welcoming video, there is no explanation, there are no lessons that would teach you how to use the platform. So it feels like after you've registered, you are on your own and you have to figure out all of these questions yourself. So it would be nice if there was, I don't know, maybe a manager who would show us how to do, and the person who we could talk to, not the customer service, but a separate person who we could ask our questions, say in the first week after the registration, which is the most exciting and the most difficult time. Or there would be a series of some videos that would explain us the main questions that we have on Etoro. Of course, at the moment, if you have these questions, you can find answers to them on YouTube, for example, watching such videos as mine, or you can read on forums and on different websites, blogs, etc. But you have to go outside of Etoro to get this information, and what I'm saying, it would be nice to get all of this information on the platform itself, so that you wouldn't have to choose which information is correct and which information is false, because you could trust this information from the very beginning as it was given to you by Etoro itself. The eighth thing that I would change, it might be a little bit cheeky, but really, is the withdrawal fee. So right now the withdrawal fee is $5. You can get rid of it by investing a certain sum, which is quite big, into your account and becoming a member of one of the clubs. Otherwise, you have to pay this fee every time you withdraw your money. And even though in a way I like it, because obviously Etoro is relatively open about the ways of how they make money, about where their profits come from, and the withdrawal fee is one of the sources of where they get their profits, there are other platforms where withdrawals are completely free, and there are more and more of them. And I think that Etoro is missing out on the opportunity, because for a lot of people this $5 is actually a lot of money. And of course, I don't know how big a share of the general profits of Etoro comes from these withdrawal fees, because I don't think a lot of people withdraw money too often because there is a withdrawal fee. But if this share, if this part is not too big, then why not just get rid of it? I mean, it just would be nice. Of course, again, it's not such a big deal, and I'm sure every single platform has to charge its clients one way or the other to make their profits, to make their money, and Etoro is already doing a great job by providing us with such cheap service, but withdrawal fee is just irritating, even though I don't have to pay it because I am a member of one of those clubs. So it is possible to be registered with Etoro and not pay any withdrawal fees, but not for everyone, just for chosen ones, and this is what I don't like. Okay, the ninth thing is the fact that you cannot set orders on all stocks, only on the most popular stocks, or at least this is how Etoro describes it. Outside of trading hours, you cannot trade on Etoro, but you can set an order and your order will get executed as soon as the market opens. But it's not the case for all stocks, and this is the point that I don't get. Why not make it available for all stocks? Even though Etoro says that it is possible to set an order for the most popular stocks, I tried doing it myself for certain stocks and I couldn't do it, which is always very annoying. If it is possible to set an order for certain stocks, then why it is impossible to set orders for all stocks? Maybe I don't understand something. If you understand how it works and why Etoro cannot do it, then again, leave your thoughts in the comments below this video. Well, maybe I will learn something new then. Okay, and number 10 is something that a lot of people comment under my videos about, and in general I think a lot of people don't like Etoro for this reason, and this reason is relatively high spread fees. Etoro has to make money somehow, and of course spread fees are going to be higher than on other platforms, maybe not even for all stocks, but for example cryptocurrency on Etoro is relatively expensive, and I don't know if it's something that Etoro could change, and I'm pretty sure that Etoro is working on it. And again, maybe the higher the volumes of trades are on Etoro, the lower the spread fees will be, but as it stands right now in 2021, there are other platforms that offer lower spread fees, and this is in general the main thing, like the main selling point that all these different zero commission platforms use to gain customers, to gain new customers. As a regular customer, especially if you're a beginner, I doubt many people will try to open different platforms, register on different platforms, and then each time they want to make a trade, they would compare the spread fees on each individual platform. I don't think many people would do that, just because it would take a lot of time and it's just boring. But Etoro generally is known for relatively high spread fees, and if you are an active trader, then it makes a big difference. If you are someone like me who doesn't trade much, who just uses Etoro for copy trading or for investing into individual stocks and shares and holding the shares long term, then the spread fees don't matter much because they don't make such a big difference. Although, as everybody says, fees accumulate over time, and you will be surprised how much money you end up paying in fees at the end of the term. So Etoro, if you can lower your spread fees, then please do it, but if you can't do it, then I suppose we will have to deal with it, and we also will try to understand. Okay guys, if you think of any other ways of how you think Etoro can improve its services or some other things that you don't like about the platform, then leave your thoughts in the comment section below this video, and let's hope that Etoro will somehow get to watch this video and fix at least some of these issues. Thank you so much for your time and attention today, and I hope to see you soon in my next videos. Bye bye!